Hi, everyone. Welcome to today's Lean Publishing Tip of the Day. Today, I'm going to be talking about your royalties and earnings and sales data and all the different ways that we help you track and find that on the Leanpub platform. As usual, if you're watching the recording of this video, please just skip ahead to the 2-minute mark after we've gone through our normal housekeeping and giving people who might happen to see this suddenly go live on our various platforms, give them some time to join. As always, there is a blog post accompanying this Lean Publishing Tip of the Day. You can find it on our blog at leanpub.com/blog. These blog posts are helpful for people who prefer to read than watching videos, although the video will eventually be at the top of the blog post. As you can see, there's a to-do here because I've still got to complete the blog post for the day. There's actually a lot of links to share there. And because we actually do a lot for you. In fact, my view is that we do more than probably most or all other self-publishing platforms do. And we're always happy to add more. As always, you can find the recordings of these Lean Publishing Tips of the Day on our YouTube channel at Leanpub. Please like and subscribe and all of that if you're interested in learning more about Leanpub and about self-publishing and about book marketing, the challenges of being a writer, things like that. On our YouTube channel, you can also find new release videos, you can find launch videos, and you can find podcast videos, and all kinds of great shorts if you're into watching brief clips and things like that. There are also clips from the Lean Publishing Tip of the Day. We recently added a launch section to the website, actually. If you go to the homepage at leanpub.com, you'll see a little launch menu item at the top right. And if you go there, you can click and see all the coolest, the latest launch videos from most recent to latest. So anyway, here we go, approaching the 2-minute mark. 3, 2, 1. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the 2-minute mark of this Lean Publishing Tip of the Day live stream, where I'm going to be talking about exploring your self-published sales and earnings data on Leanpub. This is tracking your data, following it is a very important and sometimes even kind of overly important or obsessive feature of being, or dimension of being, a self-published author. You want to track your sales, this is just because you're earning money, or you might be selling free books too, but you want to see how your audience is growing and things like that. Tracking that data is really important. Every platform has its own approach to this. I happen to believe that Leanpub's is the most robust there is, and I'll show you one very specific reason why later on in this video. But it's funny. It sort of might seem so simple. I just want to track my data, and it's like actually there's a lot of things to track there. There's individual book sales on Leanpub. People can choose what to pay for your book. You set the minimum price and the suggested price. So there's tracking the price that's paid. There's tracking the associated royalty that you're going to earn from that sale. There's tracking the timing of when you're scheduled to get that payment. Is there a minimum payout threshold for you? Are your royalties set on layaway because you're saving them up to spend them on Leanpub author services or something like that? So it can actually get quite complicated. One of the reasons we're doing this video is, every once in a while we get, even old-time Leanpub authors asking us, where can I track my sales? And it's like, well, I just said we've probably got the best kind of self-publishing platform sales tracking there is. And if old-time Leanpub authors or new, of course, are emailing us saying, where can I get my sales data? Obviously, we're not doing a good enough job of promoting and announcing and surfacing and making the discoverability of all these features good and robust in that sense. So so I thought I'd do this live stream today to talk about that. So why don't we just get going? I will share a new tab here. So the main place to go for your sales and earnings and royalties information is the royalties section of your account. If you click on yourself at the top right here, what I like to call the escape hatch, click on your little avatar at the top right, and you go to author. So there's various sections of your account. Go to the author section of your account. And then there's royalties right here. Click on royalties. And what you'll do is you'll go to there are a number of royalties pages. This will take you to the all royalties page, which is basically kind of summary. Words can be annoying to read things, but if you're going to be a Leanpub author, you're going to be earning money and maybe hopefully even really good money, you're going to want to read the words. I recommend that. You can also click here on this menu to see all of the different royalties pages. You can see that we break them down by books and courses, because you can, in addition to publishing books on Leanpub, you can also publish online courses that you can sell. And you can see various things here. I'll walk you through them, but let's just go through the royalties page first. This is my kind of dummy account, so there's kind of funny things in here, like, I set the minimum payment account to be like $1 million, or what, $10 million or something like that. That's obviously not real. No, 1 million. But you can change that setting. Obviously, since it's my dummy account, there's not going to be any real sales in here, but it's just this. You will be seeing, when you look at your royalties payment, your royalties page, you will see all these same entries. You can see the royalties payable this month, royalty adjustments pending. That's kind of a detail. Basically, on occasion, once actually in Leanpub's history, we had to do a kind of general royalty adjustment because of a mistake that we made. But if there's any adjustments, you're going to see them there, and that's just for the sake of total transparency. There's other reasons that those could happen as well, but I won't go into that now. And then you can see like, your royalties to be paid in July, your royalties will be paid in August. This month is June, so the royalty payment that I would be expecting is $8.51. But you can see the timing here. The reason there's timing is just like KDP and other platforms, there's a 60-day royalty hold because we have a 60-day refund period. So anyone who buys your book can get a refund within 60 days. Obviously, we're not going to pay you the associated royalty if someone can get it refunded until that refund window is over. So once that refund window is over, your royalties that were earned on that sale 60 days later are unlocked to be paid at the next payment date. And then you can see a total here. So this is your total lifetime unpaid and paid royalties. So paid means what we've actually paid you. Unpaid means what you've earned but hasn't been paid yet. So you can get those totals there, which is really helpful. Now, I'm just going to jump ahead to the kind of secret, very cool part here. You can click to email yourself a CSV, two CSVs, one with paid purchases only. So you don't, if you also sell books for free, or you've given out free coupons and you don't want that kind of cluttering up your data, you can email yourself that. But you can also email yourself a CSV with all free and paid purchases. Now let me see if I can up my game here on oops, stop screen. I'm with StreamYard here. I'm going to share my screen window. Okay, so no, it's not liking that for some reason. There we go. Okay, here we go. So this is what the spreadsheet looks like. For those of you who may have encountered me on the podcast and stuff like that, I'm a former investment banker, so I like my spreadsheets. And what you can see here is when I said Leanpub provides you with the most robust kind of sales data of any platform, this CSV is based. There's other cooler, more interesting, and interactive and intuitive ways to see your sales data on Leanpub. But this CSV has it all. It has the book title, it has the URL of the book, it has the invoice ID, the purchase ID. These can be helpful in various ways if you're trying to kind of like correspond with with people who could sort of proof of purchase kind of stuff. Those are all unique, unless someone bought multiple copies of your book at the same time. You can see if there was any bundle revenue associated with the purchase, the book amount of bundle revenue, the book revenue, the book royalty. These are free purchases, so you're not seeing anything there. You can see the author name. You can see this author's percentage of book royalties because you can have co-authors. You can also see, so this is a very cool thing. Some of this will take a little bit of getting used to, but because it really is all the detail you could possibly have. But one of the most important things here is author royalties portion paid to author. You have them in column M currently. So that's how much was paid. But then you have the author paid out at, so you actually have the paid date when that payout was made. If there was money involved, there's a payout ID. So if you're contacting Leanpub support, you can use that. If there's a cause, you can. Leanpub has a causes program with nonprofits and charities, so you can actually share a portion of a sale with them. So you'll see that broken out if it's there. And then you can see a package name. This is a little bit complicated, but on Leanpub, you can actually sell packages. If you're just selling the book, the package is called the book. But if you've created a package of your own, like the book plus an audiobook or the book plus videos, you can actually see the package name there, see the bundle name if it's a bundle. You can see the date purchased. You can see the date that the royalty will be held till. So that's 60 days later, basically. Date author royalty was paid, which is very cool. Date author's cause royalty was paid. Coupon code, coupon note. So if there was a coupon code associated with the sale, you can see that. Email, you can see the email address of the author if they shared it with you, which is very cool. So that that feature is actually incredibly powerful, because basically you can break it down. I'm just sort of closing it here, because basically you can break it down. You've got the title and you've got the date paid at, and you've got the royalty associated with it, and you've got the royalty share split and all that kind of stuff. So you can actually do very simple kind of spreadsheet stuff to break it down by book. You can get the number of books sold. You can get the amount of money that you've earned, the amount of money that's been paid so far, the amount of money that's going to be paid to you per book, right there using that kind of data. So that's really, really important. If you're going to be a self-published author and you're going to be managing money and sales and stuff like that, I do recommend you learn at least as much spreadsheet as you need to do to kind of sort by books and do sums and stuff like that. Obviously, AI services like ChatGPT and stuff like that can really help you out with spreadsheets. And the spreadsheet itself might actually have Claude or something like that in it. So I definitely recommend that you learn a little bit of spreadsheet, because it's going to be very, 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 very useful for you if you don't already know some. And it's going to help unlock all these powerful features on Leanpub. Now, let's go back to my account here. So here we are on the royalties page. I showed you where you could download the kind of, one spreadsheet to unite them all with all the information there. But there are other breakdowns you can find here. Here's the annual royalty, so you can get an annual royalty statement. Again, this is a dummy account, so don't pay attention to the actual numbers. This is for tax purposes, basically. This is to help get a helpful kind of tax statement sent to you, breaking down annual royalties and data. You can go to your book royalties here, assuming it works. They're loaded. I've got a bunch of books in here, more than most people, because a lot of these are dummy things. But per book, you can see payable this month, to pay in July, to pay in August, and then you can actually click to see the details. Blah blah blah. So this is a royalties-based thing. You can see the same thing for courses. If you go to your courses section, you can see it broken down by each individual course, and you can view the details of each one. Partner sales. We have one partner currently, Learnerbly in the UK. They're amazing. What they do basically is companies pay them money so that their employees can kind of buy products from their site without having to use the corporate credit card. So basically products get put up on there, and the company has a budget, and presumably each individual employee has a spendable budget. And that way they can kind of buy your book on that platform without having to use the corporate credit card. We arrange it all with Learnerbly, so you get your royalties just like you would with a normal sales. So if you've had any sales like that, you'll see them there. I might as well show you, this isn't exactly about sales and earnings data, but there are payment settings pages here as well. That's very important. You can choose to be paid by Wise, PayPal, or you could put your royalties on layaway. That's where they are by default until you choose something that just means we keep them for you until you choose how you want to be paid. Also what you can do is you can leave them there if you're having trouble with one of these payment services. Just I don't want to risk getting a sort of mistaken payout or something. Just click that button to be safe. Am I on that page? Yes, I am. Okay, good. Anyway, then you can update your royalty settings here. You can also and if you're on PayPal or Wise, then you can choose those minimum payouts and stuff like that, like I was showing you. You can see your royalty payouts here. Again, dummy account. Royalty pool. So if you've got any books that are free with membership, I've explained that elsewhere, and you can find that, look at that up in our help center. But basically, if you make your book free with membership, then you get royalty. You earn royalties from our royalty pool, and any sort of royalties that you've earned will be shown there as well. And then you have your royalty purchases. So on Leanpub, you can use unpaid royalties. That's royalties that you've earned that haven't been paid to you yet to buy Leanpub services. And it basically is the magical idea of a self-funding book. So you can use the earnings from your book to increase the earnings on your book potentially by buying, sort of shelf spots and newsletter sponsored spots and stuff like that to promote your book on Leanpub. So that's the royalties section. That's the most important place because that's about your payments. But if you're looking for information on your book sales, what you want to do, I'm going to go to my published books here, and I'm going to pick the one I often pick, which is this one, the sample nonfiction book. And you can actually, I'm going to go to overview because I like that better. And here you can go to the sales page for your book. So you can see the number of purchases, paid, free, and total. You can see the average purchase price and the paid. So this is the number of purchases. Then you can see the average purchase price. You can search by last 30 days, last 3 months, and lifetime of sales. And you can actually see the number of sample downloads as well, if you've got a sample book available for sale. So that's a really important page to go for each individual book. You can also go to the refunds or to go to the royalties page and see what the royalties are in the same way for that individual book. And you can go to the refunds page and you can see if there are any refunds for your book there as well. So every book and course, if you go to the store section, has sales, royalties, and refunds where you can see all that kind of information. And you can also go to, you can see the number of books that you've sold. You can see the average price. And then using the spreadsheet that I showed you earlier, you can actually see track it down to the individual purchase level, see what price was paid, see how many, do just a simple kind of sum in Excel. Well, not sum, but a kind of count in Excel to see how many of those books were sold, how much money from each individual book, make a nice little table, stuff like that. We're always working to improve this. So we might actually, have a kind of more robust dashboard, but basically that spreadsheet is the magical kind of, data that you've always wanted. If you were a self-published author and you've used other platforms, that's everything there, almost maybe too much. Yeah, so that's basically the main way you track earnings and sales data and the amount of books you've sold and what they've been sold for and stuff like that on Leanpub. So thank you very much, everyone, for watching this Lean Publishing Tip of the Day. You can find them all on our YouTube channel at Leanpub. If you watched this video, if you liked it, please like and subscribe it, all that kind of stuff, and recommend it to other people as well. And if there's anything you'd like me to discuss or go into more detail on, just reach out and let us know. So thanks very much, everyone, for watching this live stream today.